What's up, guys? Back in the shop. So we left off, we got the engine in. Everything's all mounted up. So we're gonna start putting on our turbo, our injectors, more front accessories, alternator, and we'll get this thing closer to being a running and driving car. So first off, we'll start with our turbo here. So we got a Garrett G25 660 turbo. So it's not the biggest turbo, but it's good for up to 660 horse. We're obviously not going to be pushing that, but we're hoping for more around 350. And then we got the 0.72 AR. All right, we'll start by putting our turbo together. So here's our super core. This is our rear housing. So basically this just goes, you gotta make sure you got your V-band clamp on there, which we do. And this is just gonna go right up over that. And you gotta work this open in the middle. It's hard to do this with only one hand. There we go. There it is, just like so. So we'll get this tightened up into the rotation that we need it. All right, we'll slap our turbo on there. It's not tight, so you can still clock it. Get our V-band on there. Second. Let's see, we want this probably in the front. Just like so. Turbo on there. Like so. Okay. Get our clamp back up on there. There we go. Take that drill down. Gotta get a wrench, but I'm gonna need you to hold this. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. There she is, the old turbo on there. Looks pretty good. So still gotta get I'm gonna get a cast 90 welded onto here. Sticks out about there. But it's the first step. Let's keep going. All right, so we're gonna do our injectors. First things first, we got these radium spacers we're gonna be putting in the intake manifold. So we're gonna get these lubed up, and then we're gonna start pressing them in. Let's press these bad boys in. Number one here. Got them all lubed up. Hopefully they just. What's that? So we got our fuel rail all set up, ready to go. Got our fuel pulse dampener on there. This thing's a unit. 1050 ID injectors. This thing will be able to push some fuel, that's for sure. All right, so let's get this thing installed. So we had to remove the upper half of the intake manifold there, but no big deal. We got our fuel rail on, injectors are in. So next we got our fuel pressure gauge here, which is on our fuel pressure regulator. So this would be your return on the bottom here. That's the in. So this is going to go on the back of the fuel rail back here. So let me set you guys up and we'll install it. Like that. Basically went to put the upper intake manifold back on and it hits the fuel rail up here. So they sell a spacer to space out this upper intake plenum. And, it's basically a 1/2-inch spacer that it's got O-rings instead of using the gasket, so it's actually kind of nice. And it was fairly cheap from ASWorks. So you got O-rings on the bottom and O-rings on the top, so it's just a 1/2-inch spacer in there, a spacey intake plenum up 1/2 inch away from the fuel rail. So that's where we're at with that. We'll wait for that to come in, cover everything up. Don't want to get dirt in there, and maybe we'll start on something else, see what we can do. All right, so since we can't finish anything on the fuel rail till we get some more parts in, we're going to move down to the alternator, which goes down here. So for an alternator, I'm actually going to be running an LS1 alternator, which is right here. So just an AC Delco unit that I can get in a local parts store if I need to. Simple LS1 alternator. And then to run the LS1 alternator, I have this Tarks LS1 alternator bracket kit. Next thing we're going to be doing is installing our conversion brackets here. So first, slap this right in here, like so. Okay. Put that on there. All right, next we gotta install our adjuster bracket here. So you got this little piece that goes in here. Adjuster nut goes on there. So this is going to go face down here, like so. That one goes there like so. Got a flat washer, lock washer. Another one. That's about it. We'll leave those loose so we can adjust it, and then we'll get this installed on the car. All right, guys, we're back in the shop. It's a new day. We got our intake manifold spacer, which is, that's a nice unit. What's nice about this, you don't have to use stock gaskets. It's got O-rings built in. go in there. But before we do this, we got these AN fittings we can throw on. So I actually ordered some AN fittings from Jegs and they sent me the wrong ones. So even though they're labeled as 6 AN female 5/16 barb 90s, these are definitely 8 AN, which is this side. And then that's definitely a straight. It's 100% not the barb 90 that's listed or what I ordered. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So we just ordered from a different company. All good. So we'll throw those AN fittings on. It's gonna go on the feed side, and then you got a return side over here. Let's get that done real quick. So now what I'm doing is removing the old studs out of the intake because we have new bolts provided with our spacer. All right, that's gonna do it for the fuel system, at least up front here. You got our feed line all hooked up. You got our return line all hooked up. Oh, looks pretty sweet. So next, we got these coil pack adapters because we're going to be running 350Z coil packs. So we got these from HDT Performance, I believe it's called. But so let's slap these in, see what happens. Crack has worked perfect. Got the V, so these are VQ coils. So that's HDT Automotive that sells these brackets here. I'll put the link down in the description. But those boys killed it because that fits perfect. All right. got that all done. I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.